Hey, welcome back, guys. Filthy here with the Reliance coming at you from my living room. I am sorry about that. I really don't want to shoot any videos where I live, indoors anyways, but today I just really had a big case of the screw-its and wanted to upload this video basically reviewing the several items I came up with on the challenge I issued in the previous video labeled the Rule of Threes. Go back, give it a watch. If you like what I'm doing here and you like the content, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. Anyways, in that challenge I issued, there was to be no purchasing of items. These had to be household items you already had, and no more than 2 items per rule. So with that being said, let's get started with this here. So in the 3-minute rule, going without air or blood loss, or loss of air and blood and the ability to breathe, you will die. So I didn't do anything in my kit to address the breathing. There are some things you can do, like schmogs or bandanas or dust mask. Anything that you can do to filter the air going into your lungs would be helpful. In the desert Southwest, we do have a airborne illness that typically hits people that are foreign to the desert Southwest. And what I mean by foreign, anybody that ain't ever lived in the desert Southwest. So it doesn't mean immigrants, it just means anybody who ain't familiar with it. So, and a dust mask would keep you from breathing in that particular illness. Anyways, I went with the blood route. The blood route is controlled bleeding, and I went with a Stay Free Maxi Pad. It's makeshift compression bandage with the use of electrical tape. You can pack wounds with it. You can dress wounds with it. It's designed to capture and absorb blood. So something that I had, thanks to my girlfriend, in the vanity in our bathroom. So there we go. Stay Free Maxi Pad. You can also use these in other survival situations as a makeshift water filter or a makeshift tinder bundle. Tear the fibers apart, let it catch a spark. But there you go, 3 minutes. 3 hours, too elevated or too low of body temperature in an exposure situation, you can die from that. Hypothermia or hyperthermia, either direction. And with that, my sheltering device is a 55-gallon, 3mm thick trash bag. You can cut this up and turn it into a pup tent shelter. You can put it on the ground between you and the ground as a moisture barrier. You pop some holes in it, make it into a makeshift poncho. The key is if you can stay dry, you've pretty much conquered that battle, because being wet in most situations will amplify your exposure. So your 3 hours could go down to 30 minutes real quick in an exposure situation. So garbage bag. And then I also decided to throw in a pack of matches because I have a ton of these sitting in a junk drawer. So I thought, what the hell, I'll just throw this in there, a combustion device to start a fire after I got my shelter established. So the next rule would be the 3-day rule, and that 3-day rule is hydration. Becoming dehydrated will kill you in 3 days. It will also kill you in a day. If you are expending a lot of energy and panicking, it will accelerate, but as a rule of thumb, the maximum length of time you can go without hydrating is 3 days. There was something else I wanted to put in this section, but abiding by my own rules, I couldn't buy anything in the materials I needed for that. I'm just going with the Canteen I carry every day in my lunchbox. It's a clean Canteen, 27 ounces single wall, so you can carry your water, drink from it. You can capture water, filter it in, and then throw it on a fire and boil it and purify it. So it has more than just a carry and consume option. You can also purify with it. So clean Canteen. Then for my 3-week rule, which is starvation, you will die in 3 weeks without sustenance, I decided to go with a field stripped MRE. I was going to put a Cliff Bar in there, but man, that didn't make any sense to me. A Cliff Bar ain't going to put a dent in anybody's hunger, even over a day. So I decided, hey, you know what, I'm not really breaking the rules by putting a single MRE because it comes as a single kit, and I have a bunch of these laying around. And what's great about these is there's enough calories in here for one day, but I could stretch this out over 3 days and be all right. For long-term sustenance, if you're in a homesteading, if you find yourself in a long-term reliance, going into a homesteading, rebuilding society type of adventure, you know, having some steel 24-inch fishing leaders make great snares. You set up a couple of snares around your location off the game runs or game trails and try to capture yourself food. I would try to stay away from larger game trails. I would keep them on runs because these little snares going to cause a lot of discomfort to bigger animals, and you don't want to do that. You may basically want jackrabbits and smaller, or rabbits and smaller. So there you go, guys. Those were the items I came up with in my challenge for a core of a kit. And like I said, this isn't gospel. You ain't got to use these items. You can use them if you want. Don't use them. If you got a good idea, or whatever your ideas are, put them in my comment section. You might have something that I decide to go with because it's a better idea or better solution for addressing those rules. Stay tuned. The next series of videos is going to be the introduction of the concept of the 5 C's. And as always, guys, it's better to have the knowledge and not need it than to need it and not have it. Stay safe, and we'll see you down the road on the next one. Later.